5 on your side at 10 starts now.
On a hot streak, we're extending our weather impact alert for a few more days. How long the dangerous heat and humidity will stick around.
From devastation to dangerous heat.
I lost everything in 5 minutes.
Tonight, the growing concerns in North City as the number of hot days grows. Developing tonight, a possible pause to the fighting in the Middle East, the vulnerabilities still facing Americans.
5 on your side starts now with a weather impact alert.
Within the hour, an extreme heat warning was dropped for the St. Louis metro area, but dangerous temperatures are not going anywhere. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kelly Jackson.
And I'm Rennie Knott. Mike Bush has the night off. Let's get right on over to weather impact meteorologist Jim Castillo on the dangerous conditions that we continue to sweat out. Jim?
Yeah, guys, you know, this heat's going to last. Even though it went from a warning to an advisory, it really is just a matter of a few degrees here. So what we have is that heat advisory until about 9 p.m. on Thursday. I wouldn't be surprised to see this extended into Friday, possibly Saturday. And I'll tell you the reasons why coming up in Maine weather. There's a front nearby, but it doesn't look like it's going to come anywhere near us. So 89, look at this temperature downtown St. Louis. Heat index of 96. It almost still feels like 100 degrees downtown. Dew point 72. That's high. It's muggy, very steamy out. South wind at 7. The wind goes light tonight. It stays light tomorrow. And there's all those storms up to the north of us, but we are not expecting them to come our way. Maybe a partly cloudy sky overnight, but we'll talk about our rain chances and when we may see a cool down coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Jim. This extended period of heat is extremely dangerous for people working out in the blazing sunlight without the ability to get inside for some air conditioning.
Yeah, that's been the reality for many storm victims in North St. Louis. New tonight, 5 on your side's Andy Crawl is looking into the growing risks.
Rennie and Kelly, it's just miserable out here. It's sweltering. It's close to 89 degrees like Jim just said. And even with the sundown at 10 p.m., it's not giving much relief. I've been able to talk to a couple of doctors over the last few days about how heat illnesses can be caused by such extended periods of so much heat, especially for vulnerable populations like children and seniors. We were able to catch up with one man who was hanging out in the shade of his North City home that was ripped apart by last month's EF3 tornado.
I lost everything in 5 minutes.
Like many, Darnell Forrest had his life turned upside down on May 16th.
This whole front of my house was gone from one side to the other. Door, windows, everything was laying out here in the yard.
Sitting outside what's left of his house on Cottage Avenue, he's checked on by friends who know him in the Ville neighborhood by another name.
They called me Hard Times.
Getting through some hard times, the popular auto mechanic works in his backyard even on summer days that reach up to 95.
Taking many breaks as I can. I still work on cars. So I work 5 minutes sometimes. I take a half an hour break.
The 75-year-old is trying to earn some extra money to pay for repairs, telling us he's lived in this house with no air conditioning, only a series of fans since the storm, saying he had nowhere else to stay.
Insulation from everywhere blew into the air conditioning. I got some of it out, so it might be where the air conditioning ain't cooling enough from the outside. I don't know.
It's a potentially dangerous spot to be in, Dr. Alexander Garza, Chief Community Health Officer for SSM Health, says.
Typically, you can cool off at night and then you can get up the next day and you're able to function okay. But if you're not having that period of time where the body's allowed to recover, to cool down, then you sort of get this accumulating effect on the body.
Garza is also the city's health advisor, giving medical expertise at the city, state, and even federal level the last few weeks in response to the tornado. Extreme heat is one of their biggest concerns.
You also have this effect, what's called a heat island in an urban dense area, which is you have a lot of concrete and asphalt, which absorbs a lot of heat and then releases it at night. And so it's difficult to cool down at night.
And Dr. Garza advises even if you can spend a few hours a day inside an air-conditioned space, that might help fight off the risk of heat stroke and a potential trip to the emergency room. Reporting live in downtown St. Louis, Annie Crawl, 5 on your side.
We have a growing list of resources to escape the heat on KSDK.com. There is also an interactive map of cooling centers around St. Louis. Text the word heat to 314-425-5355 and we'll send you the link.
Tonight, the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department has a new boss. It's actually more like 5 new bosses. Just hours ago, Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe announced his picks to sit on the state's Board of Police Commissioners. Tonight, our political editor, Mark Maxwell, tells us about the changes, what it will mean for transparency and the public safety in the city.
At a Monday press conference, Governor Mike Kehoe charged the new members of the St. Louis Board of Police Commissioners with one job.
The biggest problem that we have is recruiting and retention of police officers.
4 voting members and 1 non-voting member will join Mayor Kara Spencer on the powerful police panel and determine things like hiring, firing, pay scale, and officer discipline.
And I believe these appointments mark a significant move towards transparency.
Not pictured in the panel, another politician poised to gain increasing influence in the department.
And I had a meeting with Attorney General Bailey today. I think the ink was not dry on the bill when General Bailey was reaching out to the chief, letting him know that Missouri's Attorney General and his entire office stands with him and is anxious to be their attorney.
If the Attorney General is the police department's lawyer, who then will make the final determination on when to release body camera video, evidence, police reports, things of that nature?
Yeah, they'll develop a policy for that and make sure it's consistent with what the public expects and what is right.
Each member is subject to confirmation in the Missouri Senate. Senator Carla May faces the end of her term, but still showed up to voice her concerns.
The board needs to be transparent. I think that we don't need to have any conflicting relationships, and also think that we need to protect the interests of the city of St. Louis and make sure they are protected because there is crime going on.
I want families and businesses to feel safe, and it has not been an easy few months for this department.
Obviously, policing is dangerous work. We've seen some police pursuits, some officers open fire at suspects in the pursuit of these folks. Would it benefit you or the department to have clear written policies from this board describing when to and when not to pursue or engage in that manner?
We already have clear written policies. So what we'll do is take a look at them, and if there's changes that need to be made and best practices, we're going to use them. So it's not like we're flying blind right now. We've had good policies in place.
Nothing in current state law makes these board seats paid positions. Then again, they could vote to change that. Their first public meeting, not yet on the calendar. Reporting in St. Louis, Mark Maxwell, 5 on your side.
Tonight, a Metro East mother and grandmother are charged in the murder of a foster child. Today, a St. Clair County grand jury indicted Shamika Williams and Cornelia Reed on several charges, including first-degree murder, involuntary manslaughter, and aggravated battery. According to Fairview Heights Police, 18-year-old Mackenzie Felmley was found unresponsive at the bottom of the staircase in the home on Patricia Drive in May of last year. Investigators say a search of a cell phone found photographic and video evidence of abuse, neglect, and torture at the hands of both women.
Right now, we're following a developing story out of the Middle East. President Trump says Iran and Israel have agreed to a ceasefire, which will go into effect within the hour. The news comes just days following a U.S. airstrike on Iranian nuclear facilities and hours after Iran retaliated by firing missiles at the U.S. air base in Qatar. The president is scheduled to leave for the NATO summit tomorrow morning. New video tonight from the Pentagon showing the B-12 bombers from Whiteman Air Force Base before and after their Operation Midnight Hammer. Several bombers flew 18 straight hours from Missouri to Iran, where they dropped a total of 14 of those massive bunker buster bombs on Iran.
There could be more potential for threats here at home, and so that's why we're at an elevated threat right now.
Despite the ceasefire, Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem is warning of potential cyber attacks and a, quote, heightened threat environment. The U.S. classifies the Iranian regime as a state sponsor of terrorism.
5 on your side's Laura Barshevsky has reaction from Missouri lawmakers and a local cybersecurity expert. Laura?
Rennie and Kelly, at this point, it's unclear if there is still a cyber threat from Iran against the U.S., as ceasefires don't always apply to non-physical aspects of a war or conflict. But experts warn cyber attacks are always possible, so it really never hurts to protect yourself. Missouri Representatives Mark Alford and Wesley Bell are reacting to the latest news a ceasefire is on the table between Iran and Israel. Alford's calling this a success.
They are running out of missiles to lob into Israel and Tehran, and I think this is a great move forward, this ceasefire that hopefully will bring lasting peace between Iran, Israel, and America.
But Bell isn't so sure.
Reports are that there's a ceasefire. We hope that that holds. But there's a very real possibility that this could have escalated and still could escalate. And if that can happen, we need to make certain that all hands are on deck.
One type of threat they were concerned about, cyber attacks. The Department of Homeland Security posted a bulletin and hosted a call with state governors over the weekend, warning of possible cyber attacks after the strike on Iran. It's unclear if a ceasefire changes that.
Any cyber attacks, I would take those seriously. And that's something that I would take into consideration with respect to how we respond.
And Dick Herber with On-Site Computer Consulting Services says cyber attacks can be just as devastating as a physical attack. She says businesses should do a test to look for any gaps in their system and have a rehearsed plan for what to do if a cyber attack happens. To protect your personal data, she suggests not saving your passwords in your browser.
We recommend 12 to 18 character passwords, a unique password for every site or everything that you log into. Anything to do with money should have multi-factor authentication on it.
It's important to lock up your credit, which you can do for free on Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax websites. There are also ways now to protect your property by going to your county recorder of deeds website,
where you can actually register your name, first name, last name. If someone attempts to file a document for a deed that you hold, you will get a notification from that office that someone is there trying to file something with your name on it.
I have links to all those ways you can protect your personal data in the As Seen on TV section of KSDK.com.
Rescue dogs needing rescued along an Illinois highway.
Poor little golden doodle looking dog was just running straight down the middle of the road.
Tonight, the lucky pup now bringing joy to a Metro East family. The excessive heat causing a hot mess on the roads. Tonight we verify a video from Missouri burning up the internet.
Lots of heat and humidity all week. The weather impact alert goes through Thursday. I'll time out any rain chances.
We have a happy update tonight on a tragic crash in Madison County involving an animal transport van. 7 dogs died Friday night after a van carrying rescue dogs caught on fire along I-270 near State Route 159. One of the 4 surviving dogs is now recovering at a Metro East home. Jordan Antonovich and her daughter were driving home from the Muni when they saw Guapo running down the highway. They rushed the golden doodle to the animal hospital to be treated for severe burns. They called the rescue and asked to bring Guapo home.
Everything happens for a reason. It kind of feels like it's meant to be, and Guapo is 100%, even through this tragedy, just meant to be part of the family.
Guapo, by the way, is Spanish for handsome. He's expected to make a full recovery, and right now he is in quarantine, but will soon join 5 sister dogs at his new home. Right now, a FEMA disaster recovery center is up and running for tornado survivors in St. Louis.
Now, this is in response to the deadly May storm that left thousands of people in need of help. This weekend, FEMA opened a disaster recovery center at Union Tabernacle Church near Newstead in Del Mar. But before you apply for help, federal officials recommend maximizing your insurance coverage first. The center is also seeing storm survivors who've already applied.
Now we're seeing people have specific questions about their disaster assistance application. A lot of people have received money already, so they may want that explained in terms of what that money is for, so they use their money wisely.
Anyone with damage to their home or property can stop by for help. It's open Monday through Saturday from 8 in the morning until 8 at night, and 2 more locations are expected to open up soon in North St. Louis. A reminder, though, the deadline to apply is August the 11th. The quickest way is online at disasterassistance.gov. You can also call FEMA at 1-800-621-3362.
Tonight, St. Louis City officials are urging people who may have received letters saying they're ineligible for disaster assistance not to give up. You have 60 days to file an appeal. Officials say FEMA may just need more information to process your case. 5 on Your Side is teaming up with the Urban League to help St. Louis tornado survivors. A special Amazon wish list has been set up for items like food, cleaning supplies, toiletries, chargers, and batteries. Just text the word Amazon to 314-425-5355 and we'll send you a link to that wish list to your phone. The extreme heat in the Midwest is causing a hazard on the road. IDOT is warning drivers tonight with temperatures and humidity this high, roads can buckle or blow out with no warning. One road buckling video is going viral with almost 2 million views.
So get this, it shows a Missouri road popping up right as the car goes over the top, and the car then goes airborne. Our Ann Allred is here to verify.
Watch the video, specifically the center of the screen, right by that black mailbox. You can see a crack in the road, minor damage. But now, let's slow it down. The pavement snaps, buckling the road, and this driver has no time to react. It claims to have happened off Seamers Road in Cape Girardeau. A 5 on Your Side viewer asked, is it true this video happened on a Missouri roadway? Our sources, Nicolette Brennan, City of Cape Girardeau, and Vernon Heed, sales manager at Cape Girardeau Honda. Brennan told us this video is legit. The extreme heat caused the road to buckle Sunday around lunchtime. Police got to the scene and blocked off the area while Public Works temporarily patched the road. But as of Monday afternoon, the road looked like this. The city is installing a permanent fix and cars are safely passing by. We can verify true. The viral video showing a road buckling from the heat is real. I'm Ann Allred, 5 on Your Side.
And just hours ago, an alderman in St. Peters posted repairs have been made to a road that buckled in front of the Chick-fil-A on Mid-Rivers Mall Drive. The buckling happens because the gaps in the pavement aren't big enough to handle the expansion caused by all of the hot temperatures. What would you like for us to verify for you? Simply send us an email at verify@ksdk.com.
And meteorologist Jim Castillo is here with the weather impact forecast, and we have just more days, Jim, of
Yes.
these extremely warm temperatures.
Yeah, it's not really going to cool down until maybe next week, just a little bit. More on that coming up. So the heat continues. It's 89 degrees, feels like 96 in St. Louis. And that low this morning was 80. And yeah, that was a new record warm overnight low. We did it in 2010 also. So that overnight lows again near 80 for tonight. Temperature from St. Louis to Chicago, upper 80s right now, 73 though, a little bit cooler with some showers and storms around the Kansas City area. But we have that heat advisory that lasts all the way through at least Thursday at 9 p.m. This may be extended even further. And this thunderstorm activity around northwest Missouri, well, we wish it would come our way, but it is not going to. But you see some clouds beginning to stream into maybe Pike County, Missouri. So maybe a partly cloudy sky tonight, but that front is being blocked by that huge area of high pressure anchored just to our south and east. And it's blocking it from really moving further east, but those storms will continue overnight tonight in through Iowa and northern Missouri. So 72 dew point right now, that isn't going to change either. And those current heat indices range from 84 at Mount Vernon. I saw it earlier there, about 110. You get that corn, it kind of sweats, and it sweats in this heat, and then that raises the dew point, and that's when you see those higher heat indices. 92 though for Chesterfield right now is what it feels like, and tomorrow the heat index about 102 at 1 o'clock, and the temperature about 95 at 3 o'clock with that heat index of about 103. So in the upper levels of the atmosphere, this high has to break down, and then we'll finally start to see more thunderstorm activity in here. We don't want any severe weather, but we do want a nice cool down, and that may happen by late in the weekend into early next week. But those heat index temperatures, definitely about the low 100s all the way through at least Thursday. So mid 90s for highs, heat index numbers up to 104. And that chance of shower or thunderstorm activity, it's spotty. We had a few today around the area, but most of us staying dry. And that's going to be the case through at least Friday. A little bit better chance of seeing a shower or storm as we get into Saturday, Sunday, and definitely Monday. Monday's high about 91, and maybe Tuesday, we're hoping 80s for highs.
Yes. Oh, be so
it's
cool.
like we're welcoming the 80s.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you, Jim. Sports is next.
Rennie, the Cardinals with a night to remember. Doug Armstrong had a great thought on the Blues past today, and we're playing hit and run with a gold medalist. It's not a dominating Cardinal team. I mean, they began the night in third place in just 6 games over 500. But you know what this Cardinal team does really well? Beat really good teams. Ask the Dodgers, Phillies, and now the Cubs. The Cardinals drew first blood in the fourth. Lars Nootbaar slashes it to the bleachers and right. A good play by a Cubs fan, one of their few good moments of the night. Then in the fifth, Brendan Donovan hits it close to the same spot. Another 2-run homer, make it 4-1. Still in the fifth, Alec Burleson, anybody for another 2-run homer? Same section, we're talking 6-1, folks. Nolan Gorman says, you know, these 2-run homers look like fun. I'm trying it. This is the longest of the group, 416 feet. Enough of the offense, pitching and defense. This is the big double play. Libator, 7 innings, 6 hits, 5 Ks. Cardinals win 8-2.
As the game went on, I felt like we took some really good swings. The lefties did a really nice job there with the homers. But all the way throughout, I liked our approach against their starter, and we were able to get to them. But, yeah, some powerful swings, some homers. Loved every second of it.
Doug Armstrong spoke to the media today as the Blues get ready for the NHL draft. Last year, his offseason was brilliant when he signed the Edmonton duo, Dylan Holloway and Philip Broberg. Today, he said teams can try to make an offer to his young goalie, Joel Hofer, but it won't do any good. He will match it. The Florida Panthers celebrated their back-to-back Stanley Cup wins in a parade yesterday, and seeing Florida win again made Armstrong look back to the Blues Cup win in 2019. They were poised for a repeat, but COVID and all the precautions changed the ground rules and brought those dreams to a halt.
You know, I saw what they did was to be able to defend in the same fashion that they won. And I go back to the team I worked with in Dallas that won the championship and then the next year lost in the finals to Jersey. And it just, you know, you wish you had that opportunity to play with the rules that you won your first championship in.
It was Olympics Day on Friday in St. Louis, and our town brought in one of the greatest figure skaters of all time, Brian Bortano. Our policy is every big name who comes to town must make an appearance on Hit and Run. Just Googled this, that a gold medal is worth between 20 and 50 grand. I have $75,000 in my pocket. Would you make a deal right now?
No, I wouldn't. But how did you get that? I have been trying for my insurance company to get a value put on it, and they're like, we can't do it. We can't insure this because it's like literally, we can't put a value. I love that you have actual number.
Well, I don't know how scientific Google is. I'll be honest with you. Describe the nerve level before you go out.
It's indescribable. You feel, this is what I always say. It feels like the morning of the final day, they put you inside of a microwave and and click level 1, and you're like literally starting to bubble inside all day, and you're being cooked from the inside and keep cooked until the final of the evening when you're about ready to skate. You're about ready to explode. That's what it feels like.
The Olympian that you've met, not necessarily just at Calgary, but in your career, that you said to yourself, "Oh my gosh, I'm meeting this person."
You're gonna think I'm BSing you, but one of the coolest people and the best representative and the best Olympic champion is Jackie Joyner-Kersee.
Who's the one really famous person that you met that you were shocked they know who I am?
Right, Jimmy Stewart.
Jimmy Stewart said, "Hey, Brian."
Yeah, I met him at the White House with Nancy Reagan.
Oh boy, you're really name dropping now.
I know, and President Reagan.
Gosh.
And I was like, it was the only, I've never been starstruck by anybody, but I was like, wow, this is Jimmy Stewart.
At what age did you know, I'm going to do this?
8.
Let me take you back to Calgary, 1988. You've just won the gold. The national anthem is playing.
Yeah.
What's going through your mind at that moment?
I'm going to Disneyland. I literally did that commercial right after that.
I tell you what, I didn't have high expectations, but you're.
Hey, can you work on your Italian for the next time?
And his Italian is really good. It's better than mine. I was impressed.
We know he has a place outside of Milan.
That's right.
And,
he does?
He's out there. He also told me last week that one of his favorite moments from all of this was the "What Would Brian Boitano Do" song that was in South Park.
Oh, yeah.
He goes, that keeps him famous with all the kids, too.
That's great.
All right,
That's
thank you,
great.
Frank. We'll be right back.
The Civil Courts building is looking very colorful tonight. The downtown landmark is lit in rainbow colors in honor of Pride Month. St. Louis Pride Fest 45 will take place Saturday and Sunday at Soldiers Memorial.
The Grand Pride Parade steps off downtown on Market Street starting at noon on Sunday. We will stream it live on 5+. You can download the app and watch for free on your Roku, Apple, Fire, or Samsung TV. We got a few seconds here, Jim, real quick.
Yeah. Well, it looks hot all the way through that parade, and we're going to stay in the mid-90s, guys. Weather impact alert through at least Thursday evening. That may be extended. A better chance of a cool down as we get into next week. We might see some upper 80s and low 90s and a better chance of storms by then.
All right. And that's all of our time for 5 on your side at 10. Remember, we're always streaming on 5+.
And be sure to start your day with Today in St. Louis. That starts at 4 a.m. And you will not be on it.
No, I'll be asleep.
Have a great tomorrow, everyone.